Odell Beckham Jr. at quarterback. He's been tearing it up in the NFL this year. Obviously one of the top receivers in the game, but he's thrown 2 touchdown passes and thrown 2 really good touchdown passes, might I add. Some would say, jokingly, that he's been playing better than Eli Manning when he's had chances to throw the ball. But what about Madden 19? Is he going to be a new quarterback that we can use in the upcoming promo in Madden Ultimate Team? I think so, and I'm going to break down him along with tons of other players we could be seeing very shortly coming to Madden Ultimate Team. So, it is EricRayweather here as always, doing a little different video today, doing some Ultimate Team stuff. As some of you know from last year, the Christmas time in Ultimate Team is my favorite time of the year. It's definitely the best time to get into Ultimate Team if you're not already in it, because it's just the most affordable time to get in. Also, so much new content is coming out that it makes all of the previous content really dirt cheap. Last year I didn't play Ultimate Team that much until Christmas time started. I had like an 84 overall team, and as soon as the Christmas promo hit, I went from an 84 to a 91 overall because so many cards get cheap, and a lot of the stuff that comes out around Christmas time is very affordable, very good budget players. And one of the best parts about the Christmas time promo are the out of position cards. What the out of position cards are is pretty much just what it sounds like. They take players that normally play whatever position they play, and they put them at a different position, and you can get some really good budget guys on your squad this way. Also, just some fun things to do. So let's go over some of the guys that I think are pretty much destined to get out of position cards this year. We're starting at QB, obviously. Odell Beckham Jr., I would be shocked if he did not get a quarterback card this year, because he's thrown 2 crazy touchdowns in the NFL this year. You know, displayed that he has quite a strong arm on him. That is a card that would sell. A lot of people would like it. Probably have some good throw power. He'd have some decent speed on him. His accuracy probably would be a little bit lower, but he would be a really fun card to play with. At QB, that's really all I got. I'm not sure where else they're going to try to go with QB. There's been a few guys in the league this year that have thrown touchdown passes, like Emmanuel Sanders, even Tariq Cohen last week, but I think OBJ is definitely locked in as an out-of-position QB. Let's go to running back now, and this is a guy that I know 100%, there's no way they're not going to give this guy out of position card. I'm just not 100% sure where they're going to put him. I think it's going to be running back, and that guy is Taysom Hill. Unless you've been living under a rock this year, you've seen Taysom Hill for the Saints has literally been like a Swiss Army knife. He obviously comes in and plays some quarterback in the read option game. He has lined up at halfback a few times this year and taken carries. He lines up at tight end a lot. He lines up at wide receiver sometimes. He returns kickoffs, and he also is on the punt and kick coverage team and makes a lot of good tackles in special teams. So he lines up almost everywhere. I mean, at this point, I'm not surprised we haven't thrown him in at linebacker or cornerback. But I think they're going to put him at running back just because by putting him at running back, that allows him to be used in the most spots, in my opinion, because if you have him at running back, you can easily package him in at wide receiver, so you kind of get a 2-for-1 there. You would also be able to package him in at fullback, but also you can get him at tight end because there are some packages in the game where if you were to put him at fullback in your lineup, you'd be able to get him at tight end by using packages in certain formations. So I think by putting him at running back, it allows the most freedom to actually put him in the most spots. So that's why I think he will get that card. Dude is fast too. He ran a 4.4. He's one of the, probably he arguably could be the fastest QB in the NFL. Maybe Lamar Jackson's a little bit faster. I'm not sure what his 40 time was, but dude's going to definitely, be a 90+ speed guy. So he's going to be a fun guy to use. Other running back options, I think Michael Vick, that's typically a guy that you see get put at running back and people have a lot of fun with him. Spin move is crazy this year, and Michael Vick always has a really good spin move, so that could, and he has really great agility, so he can honestly be a problem at halfback if they put him there again. And I think Cordell Patterson definitely will get a halfback card just because we've seen the Patriots line him up at halfback a lot this year, and he's actually done pretty well in that position. They've really gotten some good use out of him, so I think you can expect a Cordell Patterson halfback card this year. At fullback, I only got 2 guys that really come to mind here. Dontari Poe, just because we've seen him used at halfback in the past, and he usually does get a fullback card this time of year. Also, I'm going to throw in Akeem Hicks, just because we saw him used at fullback last week. He scored a touchdown. The only thing here is I don't know if maybe it's a little too late because they might have already had, this promo completely planned out and have the cards ready to go. So we didn't see Akeem Hicks at fullback until last week, so it might be too last minute, but I think that's something to look out for. Wide receivers, this one is also one that's really fun. I think we'll get a Deion Sanders wide receiver. That's something you typically see, and that's really a fun card to have. It was a lot of fun last year to use, and again, it was very affordable for the most part. Baker Mayfield, I think he will get a wide receiver card, because if you remember in his first game this year when he got plugged in and they won that Thursday night game, they ran, the Philly special or some version of it very similar, and he caught a touchdown pass in that game. It was a really big play of the game, and he stretched out for it, made a really good catch, and he's just a very exciting, one of the most exciting rookies in the league this year, so I would definitely expect him to get a wide receiver card. Not one that would probably be like that usable, but just be a fun card to have. Lamar Jackson, I think there's a good chance he gets an out of position card, and I think it would be wide receiver just because coming into the league this year, everybody was saying, he really should be wide receiver. Around the draft time, people were saying he's going to be a better wide receiver than quarterback. People really wanted him to be a wide receiver. He didn't want to, and I don't think he should be. I think he has a lot of potential at QB, but for this promo here, kind of just makes sense to make him a wide receiver, make him a really fast wide receiver. Obviously, route running and his, catching will be a little bit lower than the other elite wide receivers, but just make him a really fast guy. That can be a liability, but someone that can really, if you get him in space, he can make things happen. I think that would be a fun card. And then two other guys I'm going to throw in here are Kamara and Christian McCaffrey, just because in terms of receiving running backs, these two guys are just, usually Le'Veon Bell is somebody you would look at here, but since he's not really playing this year, I don't know if he would get one. But Kamara and Christian McCaffrey definitely right now are the best two receiving backs in the league. I mean, they line up at wide receiver. They can run a crazy amount of routes. And they catch a lot of passes. So I think you could look for at least one of those guys to get a wide receiver card. Tight end, we'll go Taysom Hill here again. If he doesn't get a running back card, I think tight end would be the other spot they would put him in. I think he lines up at tight end a lot, so that would make sense if they didn't want to give him the running back card. Again, he would be an extremely fast tight end. I could see him being like a 90 speed tight end, so that would be something. It would be some use there. Other options, Dwight Clark last year got a tight end card, so maybe look out for somebody like him, the legend Dwight Clark. Another interesting one I think we might have a chance to see is a Terrell Owens tight end card, because if you remember early in T.O.'s career, he was a tight end. I believe he was a tight end. I'm almost positive, before he was moved to wide receiver, and this is the first year they had Terrell Owens in the game. So I think it would honestly, that would be a really, really good out of position card, because he would be the out of position tight end cards are typically good, especially when they're wide receivers, because you don't really have to knock their ratings too much. They usually have really good speed for a tight end, but they also have good route running and catch because they are wide receivers, so they're not going to take that much of a hit. T.O. is the perfect out of position tight end because he's a big body. He's tall, he's got size on him, he's got some speed on him, he's a great route runner, got pretty good hands, so I think that would be a home run right there. I think they should do that. Now, jumping over to defense, as far as defensive line goes, honestly, I'm not really too sure here. Defensive line's kind of a toss-up, but we're going to talk more about the exciting picks like linebackers in the secondary. So linebackers, I think Sean Taylor, that's usually a given. We've seen that, I think, the last few years, and that's usually a very popular card, very good user card. These are the really good budget cards, the linebackers, because you get guys that are typically like safeties here, and they have really good speed, they have some good height, and they have good zone coverage. So these are really good budget options. Last year, guys like Sean T, Ed Reed, and Landon Collins were all very affordable cards to have here. They were fast, they had good zone coverage, so this is kind of one of my favorite parts of the program. So I think we get Sean Taylor. I think we'll get Ed Reed here again. He was a hit last year. LaDainian Tomlinson usually gets like a middle linebacker card for whatever reason, and people seem to enjoy him, so I think we'll see that again. And here is me just throwing another name out there that I think would be cool. Jamal Adams, I think, would be a really cool out-of-position linebacker. Last year we got Landon Collins. I think maybe switch it up this year. Put Jamal Adams there, a guy that's kind of on the rise, a really good, strong safety in the league. Would have some good speed, good hit power, good size, decent zone coverage. I think he would really be a fun guy to put there. Cornerbacks, I think you got to expect Randy Moss. That was a really big hit. Putting him at cornerback, got good size, good speed, and decent coverage skills. I think you could see that again for sure. I would bank on that 100%. Just another name thrown out there, maybe like Tyrann Mathieu, just because he does line up at cornerback here and there, and he can play the position pretty decent. So I think maybe he's not a guy that you would really want just though because he's 5'9", but I think maybe as a nickel back he could be cool. Free safety. We typically always get free safety Calvin Johnson, so I would expect that again. This year, I could see that being a lot glitchier than in years past, because with the ability to be able to put safeties at linebacker this year in nickel formations, honestly something I might not want to see, because all the nickel formations have, for the most part, been the best defensive formations this year. And if you're putting a 6'5" guy there that's going to probably have like 90-something speed, crazy jump, crazy hands, that's going to be a problem. But I would 100% expect it to be in the game, because that has been a fan favorite for years. I think people would be really mad if they didn't do that. Another guy, I definitely think Julio Jones will get a safety card yet again, especially this year, because we've actually seen him make some plays on the offensive side of the ball where Matt Ryan threw some bad passes. There was the one earlier this year where Matt Ryan threw a pass, the safety went up to intercept it, and Julio Jones just laid him out. Like, literally played safety on the play. He had to turn into a defender, laid him out, and he jarred the ball loose. And there was another play, I think, a week or so ago where he made another good play on a bad throw. So I definitely think you're going to see another Julio card, which would be cool. Another guy that's going to be tall, have some good speed, be a good user, especially if you want to put him at linebacker. Strong safety. If Moss does not get a cornerback card, I think you could see Moss here. Maybe Mike Evans would be cool. I believe there was a Mike Evans out of position safety a few years ago. I don't think we got one last year. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we did. I think we got Keenan Allen, which I don't think Keenan Allen fits this spot as good. I think you want really, really tall guys here. The 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" guys. So I think Mike Evans could be somebody to look out for here. And another guy I'm just going to throw out there that I think would be cool here at strong safety would be like one of the better linebackers in the game, like a Deion Jones maybe. One of the linebackers that are fast, but they can hit hard. They can cover a lot of ground. I think it would be cool to see a linebacker go at safety. I was going to say maybe Lawrence Taylor, but he just got a harvest card and he already has a legend card, so I don't know if they would give him yet another type of card. But look, maybe somebody, like I said, like a Deion Jones, someone that can cover ground, can hit, has good coverage skills. I think that would be cool to see that. And then as far as like kickers go, usually, they give us random kickers. Sometimes you see like Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady. I think Aaron Donald would be cool here. We saw Ndamukong Suh, I think, a couple years ago. Aaron Donald's just such a monster this year. I think it would, he's just, you could argue he is literally the best player in the league, bar none this year. And I just think it'd be cool to put him at kicker, just have him, as good as he is on defense, it's funny to put those guys at kicker and just see them do their thing there as well. So those are my picks. I think a lot of these are definitely set in stone. Like I said, you're going to see Calvin, Moss. You're going to see something done with Odell, with Taysom Hill, with Deion Sanders. Like, these are really typical guys. But, like I said, the TO at linebacker or at tight end would be cool. Cordell Patterson at running back, Vick at running back. These guys could really make the program interesting this year, and I'm really excited for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely drop your comments below. Let me know who you think are going to get cards. Did I miss anybody? Are there some people here that you think aren't going to get the cards? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, I will see you guys next time.